Hi, welcome to the very first episode, opening night, of Broadway and Crochet. I'm Katie, and this is a channel where I show my crochet projects inspired by Broadway. We'll also talk about Broadway in general, crochet, and related things like the Great American Songbook, jazz, maybe a little bit of knitting. I'm teaching myself how to knit, tea, and of course yarn. Since this is the first episode, I want to tell the story of how this channel came to be. It was May 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic was raging, and I was stuck at home in Ohio, like most people, and watching a lot of YouTube, particularly crochet and knit channels. And I would crochet while watching, which really helped with my anxiety. It gave my hands and my mind something to do in the times I wasn't working on my classes for fall. I teach at college. And it kept my anxious thoughts from spiraling out of control. But another big positive of the situation was that a lot of special concerts that I normally would not have been able to attend moved onto YouTube. And one of these was the Stephen Sondheim 90th birthday concert. It was absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen it, you have to go watch it. I'll put a link down below. So many Broadway stars performed from their homes with minimal accompaniment, and it was just a wonderful show of talent and celebration for an amazing composer. The last performer was, of course, the incomparable Bernadette Peters. She sang "You Are Not Alone" completely a cappella. And it was just incredibly touching and moving because New York City was in really bad shape from the pandemic. Broadway was hit really hard by COVID, and when her voice caught while she was singing, it was over. I was done. It got me. Every time I talk about it, I start getting a little bit emotional. It was an amazing moment. Well, a few weeks later, I was watching the Cozy Cottage Crochet with Hannah Sigmund, and she had designed a cowl called the You're Not Alone cowl for people to crochet for somebody to let them know that they're not alone and we're all in this pandemic situation together and we'll get through it. So of course, when she was talking about it, I heard Bernadette Peters singing You're Not Alone a cappella in her New York City apartment. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And a few days later, I thought, that's my YouTube channel, a channel about Broadway-inspired crochet. And the very first project is going to be the You're Not Alone cowl, inspired by Bernadette Peters and dedicated to Broadway. I hemmed and hawed a bit. It's September, the end of September now, when I'm making this video. I put it off for a long time because the idea of putting myself out here like this is scary. But Gigi Made It had a video a week or so ago encouraging people to just go for it, get out of their own way, and do whatever it is they've been scared to do. And I thought, you're right, Gigi. Gigi is always right. I need to get out of my own way. So here we are. And here is the cowl. It is such a beautiful and wonderfully written pattern. The texture of the stitch pattern is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it. My version was inspired by this image of Bernadette Peters, and I held together two different yarns. I used this Bernat Super Value in Redwood Heather because it just reminded me of the color of Bernadette Peters' gorgeous hair. But I wanted something along with it to give that sort of bling factor because she always seems to appear in gold lame dresses. And so I chose this Aunt Lydia's metallic thread in the color gold. And it's a gold thread with gold flecks in it. So there's sort of a muted gold, but then there are these pops of a metallic gold. Don't know if you can see that. And I think they work really well together in this cowl. The Bernat yarn is really soft. It's not super soft like Caron Simply Soft or something like that, but it's not rough or scratchy like Red Heart Super Saver. It's perfectly soft enough. It's a worsted weight, and then the Aunt Lydia's crochet thread, of course, is very, very thin crochet thread, and this thread was an incredible pain to work with, especially held together with the Bernadette yarn. It just kept twisting back on itself and getting all tangled up, and I kept having to cut it. But the final look is so perfect. I mean, it's just, I love it. I'll put it on here. I need to wash it to have it soften up and drape a little bit better, but it's so cozy, it's so warm, it's really going to be perfect for winter, and I love it. Hannah's pattern is perfectly written, it's amazing. I'll put a link below if you want to go buy it. It's only a few bucks. So that's it for this first video of Broadway and Crochet. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll subscribe. I plan to put out a new video every 2 weeks. I do have 2 small kids who are learning from home this year because of the pandemic, and also a full-time teaching job myself. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I'll be able to get a video out every 2 weeks. That's the plan anyway. And here's to Sondheim. Here's to Bernadette Peters and her iconic voice. Here's to Broadway. And here's to us. We're not alone. You are not alone. See you next time.